Good morning, and my name is Leslie Williams. Today's date is January 26, 2012. Now, the quality of this video might not be 100%, and, excuse me. The important thing is what I'm saying in this video is what is most important. I want fellow Americans and fellow San Diegans to know something, and you know, nowadays when you're listening to the TV and you're listening to the radio, you might run across truth every now and then, like when a story's reported, that's undeniable. That's truth, okay? Well, how does somebody like me get the truth out? Who's listening? Well, I already know who might be listening. Excuse me, I don't mean to laugh, but I'm not that great at making videos. But I want American citizens to understand, and fellow San Diegans to understand, that I am literally going out of my way like you would not believe. And what I mean by that, it's not a problem for me to do this, but I literally make sure that these videos are made because they're so important. I wish sometimes I could reach into the inside of my skin to help people see the factual reality of how truthful and important this video is. And why is it so important? I'm a whistleblower on a federal and state level. I was brutally assaulted on October 10th, 2011 on an MTS bus. And right now it's January 24th, 2012. And I'm just now starting to get a little bit of exposure online because Cop Block put the video on their webpage, and because they have a lot of viewers, it was viewed almost 1,000 times within a week. But now my story is, other stories are getting ahead of mine on Cop Block, and so mine is going to be on the second page now, which means less viewers are going to see it. But the reason why I bring this up is this. From what I'm understanding, Google is changing quite a bit. And as a result, everybody's saying that the federal government is going to be a lot more in their space as a result. I was just listening to one, excuse me for a second, I was just listening to one radio broadcast this morning, and even the radio broadcaster said that everybody knows that the government and Google have worked hand in hand at times. I want to tell you something. I'm a target of organized stalking, which is gang stalking, which is nothing but can be 100% well, even when it's corporate sponsored, it's protected by the government because the government protects the infrastructure, and corporations are part of the infrastructure because when you really look at it at the end of the day, a lot of corporations owe the government money, and they also pay money in to local and state governments as far as their corporate taxes and everything like that. So we have to look at the generated monies that come in from corporations as far as the tax base goes. So if you don't think regular flatfoots out there, and excuse me if that sounds disrespectful, but if you knew what I knew in reference to how local police departments are protecting these type of schemes and what criminal aspirations can also be involved in organized stalking, then you would understand what might appear to be blatant disrespect. I'm a federal and state whistleblower, and I was blowing the whistle. And as a result, I was brutally assaulted on an MTS bus. MTS sent me an altered video of that assault. Now, why would MTS do that if they were not involved in the assault? And why would they do that also if they were not taking orders from one to alter the video? Cop Block, what they did was they put it on their webpage, and as a result, over 1,000 people witnessed it in 1 week. Now, that's not like a huge amount of exposure, but this is the point I'm trying to make. When I went down 10 days after that assault to the San Diego Police Department, I was getting no help whatsoever. They would not take one police report again after the 10th request by me to ask them to make a police report in reference to me being a target of gang stalking. They flat out refused it. Even they flat out refused to look at a 10-page email in reference to me sending them links about what gang stalking is. Even the fact that one of the main links, the very first ones on that 10-page email, was a link from a news broadcast from Chula Vista showing that it was being broadcast on the news. Okay, and even the Chula Vista police were on that news broadcast showing that it was that it's a major problem and that it's been around for a long time as far as gang stalking goes. And it's not stalking by gangs, it's organized stalking. And the point I'm trying to make YouTube people here to this. You can find that YouTube video by typing in at YouTube Gangstalking and Bullying on Steroids. And you can also go into YouTube and type in listen to a stranger. That's one preliminary way to approach how they can get people in the community. It's only one way they can get people in the community to harass a target or do something for them. But here's the thing. So what they did was when I went and saw this detective who was assigned to the assault, she refused to take any report that I was a target of gang stalking. I already know why, because the San Diego police were directly involved in it in 2006 when I was out here. Okay? I just came out here in August of 2011. Okay? I've not introduced myself to one person except for the San Diego police and the hospital staff when I had to go to the hospital after I was assaulted. So how do all these people know how to gang stalk me here? Because I was gang stalked to here. Gang stalking is a nationwide criminal syndicate. It's organized crime. And there's a manifesto online right now at Google that you can type in by typing in. At Google, you can find it by typing in "a gang stalker confesses." Now, when I told her that I was a target of gang stalking, which was about my 8th attempt to brief the San Diego police so I could get it on record that I was a target of this, she refused to do it. So I said, because her excuse was, "I don't believe you're being gang stalked." So I said, well then, what's the likelihood of somebody predicting an assault and then 9 days later it happens? Which I did in an email account. So what they did was they went in beside my email accounts and they erased that prediction. I printed it out though, okay, the day that I made it, and I also, on the day that I made it, I also copied and scanned it to a Word program and then downloaded it to a USB drive, which isolated the date. 9/29 or 9/26, I got dyslexia, 2011, 9 days before the assault occurred. What's the likelihood of being assaulted if you predict one's going to happen in reference to what I was doing? I was blowing the whistle. So what's the likelihood of that happening? And who has a power position to hack into my Gmail accounts over at the University of San Diego? And why am I being gang stalked over at the University of San Diego? Google gang stalking in universities and look at how many responses you'll get. So this is what we have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is the extreme criminality that is happening towards, not just towards me. As far as I'm concerned, my life doesn't matter anymore. But what am I whistleblowing about? Many things, like you would not believe. One of the main things that I want people to know is that on the state and federal level, one of the things that I'm a whistleblower about is because of what I've seen. They're literally taking young men and women to hospitals and having them implanted for brain entrainment, for human trafficking, and for control reasons. Now, I'm sure that when you hear that, you're going to probably think to yourself, what? Well, that's just it. That's the reason why this is not getting no exposure, because it's being covered up on a national level like you would not believe. I have literally seen young men and young women being broken down and taken to the hospital for implantation, thanks to our neighborhood firefighters, neighborhood doctors and hospitals, and neighborhood police officers who are covering it up. And if you don't believe this is happening, do three things. Research David Larson, California, James Walbert, Wichita, Kansas, and Google right now also, four things. Oakwood Hospital, Dearborn, Michigan, implanting hundreds of children under the guise of epilepsy. Yeah. Same hospital they shipped me to in the same calendar year he was doing that to children. Yeah. And then Ramona Lopez, California. My name is Leslie Williams. You have no idea what I know. But I tell you this today. I make these video files to inform. They might not be the best quality, and the thing about with my videos is you gotta watch more than one, because YouTube only allows 15 minutes. So I have to hurry up and talk really fast just to explain everything that's going on, because you can't condense 11, 12 years of open, physical, organized stalking in a 15-minute video. But if you stay with my videos, you'll be able to connect the dots in reference to, synthesizing the information that's in each one. I have caught these gang stalking expeditions and the people that cover them up on so many occasions that's literally past the count of my fingers and toes. Flat out. They're directly connected to the police, the fire department, EMS, social services workers, social security workers, county mental health personnel, doctors in hospitals, doctors that own their own private practices, probate lawyers, probate judges. It's organized crime within the system. And they're literally implanting people through ear, nose, and throat specialists, doctors and hospitals, dentists, and even private practice doctors. And these individuals will go as far as literally entering your home while you're sleeping to do it. Understand this. I'm talking about your average American citizen. They can literally spot you, identify you, okay, and literally follow you home. And they know when you're asleep. They know when you're asleep. How do they know you're asleep? Because they sit outside of your home and they use technology that was given to them through our taxpayers' dollars. This is where some of the people are saying that some of the fire department personnel are involved in this because of the technology they're using in order to ascertain what you're doing in your home from outside of your home. Thermal imaging. They find out when you're asleep. They got the technology to literally enter a locked, bolted door, come into your home, and literally implant you while you're sleeping, and you have no idea. They even have technology that can make you sleep and keep you asleep, to keep you knocked out. You would not believe what I know. And let me tell you something right now. When they implant you, they can wait 4 to 5 to 6 years before they start using the capabilities of the implants. You would not believe what I know. And I'm going to tell you, if you think that this can't happen to you, think again, because I'm going to tell you, they're literally doing this. They're doing this to average people. I was an average citizen, a college student. Anyways, the only thing I can do is tell you today, just if you stay with my videos, you will see the factual realities of reference to what's happening. Now, I already mentioned in this video about how a doctor at Oakwood Hospital in Disbaled, Michigan was falsely diagnosing children with epilepsy and implanting them. He was doing this to hundreds of children, and he got caught. A huge prestigious law firm in Farmington Hills, who also had a law firm in Dearborn, where it was happening at, took the class action suit for all the families that were involved. I went down and approached that law firm because Oakwood Hospital was the same exact hospital they duped me into going to in the same calendar year this guy was working, and when they seen I went there, they caused eviction. Why would they do that? And then when they seen I was exposing what was happening towards me at U of M in Dearborn, right in the same time period that I went down to the lawyers, they came and evicted me again. Because I'm a whistleblower and they don't want it getting out that what happened to me and what I know and what was happening to me over at U of M that was directly connected to it, and all three were directly connected to the Dearborn Police, the Dearborn Fire Department, and the gang stalking aspect that went on over at U of M. Okay? And when they seen that I was blowing the whistle online and then going down to the law firm that was handling the class action lawsuit, they were just putting two together that this could get out. I was also going down to newspapers, ACLU, Amnesty International, and listen to this. At Freedom Fighters for America, on their webpage, you're going to be able to view an x-ray of Terry Parker Jr., 47 metallic implants in his head under the guise of epilepsy. Yeah, but except Terry Parker Jr., that happened to him when he was 14 in 1966. This Oakwood Hospital doctor was doing it in 2007. Do the math. My name is Leslie Williams. I expose these crimes to help the average American citizen to know the truth. If this can happen to me, this can happen to you. I'm an upstanding citizen. I do nothing wrong. I don't engage in any criminal activity whatsoever. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't sleep around. And my name is Leslie Williams, and the only thing I'm trying to do is to help the American citizens to see the factual realities of what's really going on in our community. Because if they can do this to me, and if they can do this to children, they can do this to you.